Hey, welcome back to a new video. I decided to kind of show what I do to set up most of the time, even without my camera running, so I can grab things at a glance. It's just easier for me. So that's what this first part is. I'm sorry it's slightly long. I even edited it kind of down a bit. But yeah, I really like this new case. And I was going, this was going to be a whole different picture. And as I was doing that, I got kind of irritated. I don't know, like my brain just didn't like it. It didn't want to do it. And I kept trying to fix it by being like, well, we'll draw it a little more, it'll get better. And my brain was like throwing a whole tantrum. So I decided I would try doing something else, drawing something else, starting over. And this is that part. I switched over, I grabbed a notepad. I'm like, then fine, I'll try to draw something else that I feel like doing. So I grab out my pen and I start sketching, thinking I'm gonna have to do a couple drawings, you know, doodle around, see what feels good, because sometimes, you know, I'm just in a weird mood. But no, I stopped at just this one, and I was thinking about someone like changing into, you know, any sort of thing that's like a ghoul or a you know, vampire or whatever, something like that, and like realizing that they had been infected somehow and they were getting these like long teeth and starting to worry about, you know, the safety of the people around them because of what they'd become, and you know, that whole cliche. So that was the idea behind this, and I did want to draw gauges. I mean, the other person was gonna have them too, but apparently it was not enough for me, so I went ahead and went with it. I wanted to draw short eyebrows. I like short eyebrows, and yeah, that was the whole idea behind this. I don't know why I couldn't make the other one work. It just was not driving. And I left it. I left it and finished it later on. Made some changes to it that aren't on camera just for, you know, me. The old one, obviously not this one, because, yeah. I kind of fiddled with this for far too long. I really didn't need to. I had all the information that I really needed. But it did come in handy because I take this calligraphy, this double-sided calligraphy marker that I have. I like to use it just to fill in blacks because obviously, because it has the flat end, you can do the blacks like super quickly and get interesting shapes. The only downside about this is it is not permanent. It's not safe to use with water, and so if your hands get a little tiny bit sweaty and you stick them on there, it will stain the crap out of your fingertips. And I had forgotten about that, to be completely honest, and it stained my sketchbook cover from, I always hold on to it. I usually always hold on to something with my left hand. I will hold on to the desk, I'll hold on to the chair, I'll hold on to the sketchbook, whatever. I don't know what that is, but whatever, I am well anchored. And yeah, it stained it. I haven't tried hardcore wiping it with like a cloth or anything, but it did. Gave it a little stainy stain, and it also stained my thumb for a few days afterwards. That's fine. So yeah, we finished that. There's our thumbnail, our over detailed thumbnail, and then I'm trying to transfer it. I think I could have pulled him down a little further towards the center of the sketchbook, and I didn't, but it's okay. I mean, I kind of found some workarounds to shorten it. And then what I really wanted to try to get was the finger placement in the mouth and kind of the tilt that I had, and I didn't get that perfectly. I think the thumbnail is definitely better. It has a lot more energy. That's not surprising. Obviously, with the thumbnail, I just went in and started scribbling like an absolute psycho. Right here, I'm trying to match the expression and the face shape that I had, because the tilt that I had worked really well to me in the thumbnail. Or, you know, the idea that he's almost looking into a mirror and feeling the teeth like he can't believe what he's seeing. And then I decided I wanted to give him like crossed a diagonal eyebrow piercing, like a double. I can't remember the name for it right now. And of course he got his gauges. So I guess my brain was glad. I don't know what that was about, but it was driving me crazy. But I felt really good to do this sketchbook page because I have not been able to draw in my sketchbook very often. I've had to do a lot of digital stuff. In fact, I was working on a video before this that I'm still working on because I'm just busy. And it was originally going to be a sketchbook page, and I went a little too far with it on my iPad. And so now it is completely digital, and so I figured I would just keep my videos staggered the way I've been trying to, so that if I do have a digital video, I have a sketchbook video before or after, whatever, just to balance it out. So yeah, that was kind of how that went, and I do hope that I finished that digital video in time for the next Tuesday, the next posting time, because I had so much fun, and I have a little bit of stuff left, but it's been taking me a lot of time to finish. I've been in the sun a lot, and it just messes with my eyes. But yeah, and then I used one of my favorite pens to ink this, that Energel one, and yeah, that white one right there. Man, it smudged again when I erased, which I don't usually mind, but it was mostly on the face. Of course, I mean, why wouldn't it be on the face? And I even gave it some time to dry. So, freaking lame. But it's okay. It doesn't, like, totally compromise anything. It just kind of sucked in the moment. I was just looking at it thinking, of course you did. But yeah, like I said, I can live with it. And then I was in the middle of doing the deep blacks because I just go ahead and use the same calligraphy marker to put the blacks in. And I did not know the internet people were coming that are very, very slowly putting our internet in. Which, good news, we were given the date June 20th for when that's supposed to get set up. And I wouldn't consider that a hard, fast date because, I mean, we've been given some in May and stuff as well. And that hasn't really happened. But yeah, they came that day and I didn't know. I'm just sitting here doing my video, chilling, listening to the birds outside, and this man yells outside of my window. I had heard something, so I had looked out. Didn't see anything. Okay, go back to what I'm doing, whatever. Just drawing. And this dude yells out across the yard, "Do you see it yet?" And I was jumped out of my skin. I usually have really good hearing, and I can hear things from pretty far away. And I did not hear them walk into the yard fully. I mean, I must have heard something, but not enough to be like, oh, that's a people. Yeah, no. It scared the pants off me, and I actually had to stop drawing for a little bit because they started using some power tools. And they were trying to use a shovel to dig up a little part, and they were like digging near the foundation of our house, so they were hitting concrete, and I'm like, yeah, you can't do that. It don't work. But anyway, that was, I guess, the fun fact of the day, but yeah, it scared the crap out of me. But I did eventually come back and finish it. I just made sure to go and tell my little brothers that, they're both, like, not little. But yeah, I had to go tell them that there was people here so that they wouldn't, get startled later on. Yeah, I was having fun. I kind of wanted to listen to music or something when I was making this. Just one of those moods where I want to be totally in it. And I didn't. I still get nervous about the microphone picking up on the music and giving me the fancy little copyright strikes. Something I'm a little, I don't really know what to do about with this video that I've been working on, because there's so many parts that don't have any sound, which is a shame, but, it's so loud and I couldn't really do anything about it. So, Yeah, just only some of it has sound and the rest of it does not. And I was kind of considering leaving my microphone going at some point with some background noise and just putting that in and talking over the top of that, because sometimes it's nice, you know, you can hear the birds outside my window or whatever, just normal sounds. So I thought, you know, maybe I could try that. But yeah, it'll just be a shame that, because I don't want to put like out of time pencil sounds. I don't know if that bothers anybody else, but that would kind of annoy me. So yeah, obviously you can tell me what you think about that. That'll be okay. I know. I mean, I'll still try to do a voiceover, and I'll still try to, you know, give some sort of sound in the background. But if you think just the background noise will be okay, just let me know. I don't really know what would be good, because anytime I try to add music, it's so much louder than my voice, no matter how I edit it. And I don't know. It's kind of annoying. I've had people say that, why don't you just put music in the background? And I can't. Every time I try, people say they can't hear me talking. And I will have bumped my voice so high, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I try so hard, but I'm not someone who speaks very loud, and if I do, it makes my throat super sore, and I can't do it. Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll just be whatever video it is, and part of it I kind of made for myself anyway, to scratch an itch, so it's alright. This guy has to wear all the wristbands that I don't anymore. I used to wear tons. I think I've mentioned this before, that I used to wear a lot of those jelly bracelets and things. But I also had some like faux leather ones that had chains and things, because I really liked them. I don't really now, because they kind of catch on my paper and they're not really good for work. So yeah, and I don't really go anywhere. So, such a homebody. Yeah, I just make all my characters wear the stuff I don't. Yeah, I really like short eyebrows. I just do. Or the super anime eyebrows that are all sharp and they've got a lot of weird spikes. Like, no eyebrow is shaped like this. Yeah, I love those. I love them. I was trying to be very careful and not make anything too wonky. That's why you can see that brown thing underneath literally has like a nail file and stuff in it. Actually, one of my cousins when he was really little got that for me, and I think they thought it was a wallet. But it was like a men's grooming kit that had like nail clippers and stuff. It's got like a tiny mirror in it. Anyway, I've always kept it and I like it. So I just use that to prop my book up on, though, because it was the perfect height so that it didn't hardcore skew it for the camera, but it also lifted it enough that I could see my angles just a little bit better. Don't know that it really kept me from making some mistakes, but I might have just made them anyway. So that's okay. That's why some of it's in focus and some of it's not. It's just the angle at which I have it lifted. I'd like to figure something out for that eventually. So I've had an iPod Touch basically, you know, since I don't remember, second or third generation or whatever. I've gotten iPod Touches. I really like them. I like to just carry them around. They're small. Whatever, you can have your music and check all of your crap. Basically like a phone without the ability to call. No cellular stuff, no whatever. which is cool for me. I'm pretty much never gone without someone who already has a cell phone, so I don't really need one, and I don't like phones anyway. But they are no longer going to be making the iPod Touches, and mine has just begun the thing where some of the apps will no longer update, and it just is really lame. So I've been rushing against time trying to back up some of my stories because I've got just way too many, and I've lost a bunch before. Like, no one's gonna believe me, but like 1,000. I lost like 1,000 stories that I had been writing on from a very young age that I just kept transferring from one iPod to the next, and it was really disheartening. And so every single time something happens, I start panicking that I don't have enough stuff backed up, even though I do try to back some stuff up. So I spent a really long time just trying to back up all these stories. I made a huge list that had them from all the writing apps because I categorized things through different apps like an annoying person. And I went ahead and just got all those backed up recently, and I keep looking into phones, unlocked phones, so I can just not get data or whatever if I'm not going to use it. So, you know, if I really need it, I would just buy one of the dumb little cards. But let me just say, I'm very annoyed by this. I really don't want a phone. But I thought if I did get one, I might as well get one with a, better camera, because my iPod camera does actually kind of suck. And then maybe that would be a little bit better for posting pictures of drawings or getting side footage or whatever. But yeah, I'm sure that's, not important information. But it just bothers me a little bit, so I've just been thinking about it a lot. Why? I'm not super great at planning out these black shapes, like doing the shadows on reflective materials. I try to just think about it rather than constantly search out reference or try to go off of memory or whatever. One of my brothers has a leather jacket. It's brown, and I was just trying to kind of play off the memory of it a little bit. It doesn't have all of these little details on it, but I've drawn tons of these types of jackets before in the past. Actually, I like putting spikes on the shoulders and adding chains and things like that, because when I was younger I was obsessed with leather jackets and crud like that, and yeah, so I have a lot of them in my memory from way back when I really wanted something like that. Also was super obsessed with boots that fit roughly that description. Really wanted a pair. But then after I had my first foot surgery, it was kind of like, you're never gonna be able to wear anything like that because it'll just be really uncomfortable. So after I found the boots that actually worked for me, I had to kind of give in and kind of stick with those. They're basically hiking boots nearly. And I have giant man feet, so I decided right here that I was going to put teeth on the bottom of the picture. Kind of like the thought of these teeth was already eating him alive. And I almost put some on top too, but when I was really thinking about it, I wanted it to feel like this gross feeling that, I don't know, it's kind of collapsing down on you, feels bad, so I decided to just put some gooey stuff kind of coming down from the top. And it worked out okay, I think. One thing with the Pentel Pocket brush pens is sometimes they just feel a little short in my hand without the cap on the back. I don't know why I'm holding it. I know that it posts. I know that it actually, like, sits properly on the back of the pen, and I hold it anyway. But yeah, as you can see, my thumb keeps going over the top of where I put the calligraphy lines, and yeah, it just stained it. I've been just really enjoying this brush pen. I know I've said it like a billion times, but I'm still enjoying it. And this, I just was using it to fill in more so that I wasn't using as much, because for this page, I decided that if I was going to use anything, it would probably be an accent color, just a singular accent color. And roughly the rest would be black and white. Sorry, I had to yawn. Yeah, the rest would be black and white. I just thought that would work out better. One, for time, and two, just for kind of the idea that I had for the picture. Those teeth look like actually intimidating, like they're decently sharp. But I did push one in a little too far. And right here, I'm just thickening up the lines on the hands because I didn't really feel like they were sticking out as much as they should, because they're actually in front of the shirt in space. So I just want to thicken up the lines so that they were a little bit more obvious and they were separated properly. Little tiny details, little lines. It's the small things. Like, sometimes it just makes it feel better. I almost didn't actually add some of these, and I'm like, no, you'll feel better. You'll feel better if you do, and yeah, I'm glad I did. I'm very glad that I did. And once again, using that red. I know there's gonna be a lot of red in the sketchbook. I just really like this marker. It's really easy to use, and whenever you layer it over itself, one, it gets darker, and two, it does create some texture. You'll be able to see I'm kind of just doing it in short lines so that it overlaps itself, and it gives it this like gritty kind of, I don't know, just overlapping thing. I just like it. Just like it. So, no. Bless me. I've been blessed. Cue the explosion. So yeah, you can see it's pulling the color. It'll kind of do that with the pen as well, and you can see the smudges on the face a bit now. I'll be honest, they're much worse in person. They didn't look that bad on video. Maybe just because I'm not zoomed in. I mean, I could even take a picture and just kind of take them out digitally if I really wanted to, just for posting, but I want to be true to what you're actually seeing. I'm sure no one cares, and it's fine. Yeah, I drew another one beside it because the whole time I was drawing this picture, I had this idea for like a cool eye or something on someone that looked relatively normal otherwise. And obviously I went with not normal at all. But yeah, I ended up doing that. I'll maybe show that eventually, I don't know. Or I'll just leave it for the sketchbook tour at some point. See if I can ever draw on my sketchbook again. Dramatic sob. Yep, I just added a little bit of red to his knuckles and fingertips and things. I just like how it looks. I almost added in, I was gonna get my gray pocket brush pen, and I was like, no, we said we were going simple. Please listen for once. So yeah, and then I just needed to thicken up some of those overlapping fingers and the rings because it just looked weird. They didn't have enough like of a shadow. I don't know why I started doing these lines like this, but I like it. I just like it. So here is the finished picture. Please let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day or night, and bye.